Which storyline do you prefer? There are two common storylines in Batman. One is the storyline where Batman and Jim Gordon share the same first year fighting crime in Gotham. The other is that Jim Gordon was a young officer when Bruce's parents were killed, and he comforts Bruce as a child after his parents were gunned down. The question is, which storyline is better? I have composed arguments supporting both sides, and let me know in the comments which one you like most. Sharing the same first year. Frank Miller's Batman Year One, originally published in 1987 and released as a movie in 2011, did a deep dive on this aspect of the story, putting Batman's and Gordon's freshman year of fighting crime in Gotham under a microscope. The advantages to this storyline are that when Gordon and Batman share a freshman year fighting crime, we can draw more parallels between the two characters. We can see what they're both doing for the city as individuals at the same time, and how their efforts complement one another, even in the beginning when they aren't yet working together. It's almost as if they were supernaturally ordained to fight crime together. There's also more mystery on Batman's end, as he doesn't know much about this new officer, and it's fun to see how Batman and Gordon eventually come to trust each other and work together, especially in Miller's version, taking place in the pre-internet 1980s, when information wasn't as freely available. Jim Gordon doesn't fully understand what he's getting into when he moves to Gotham. He was in for a surprise at just how corrupt the city was, that even Gotham PD was dirty. Batman, on the other hand, already knows just how dirty the city is. They're learning the ropes at the same time, figuring out what works and what doesn't. And as Gordon comes to know who Batman is, he is thankful that there is another good person stepping up to rescue the city from the vile filth eating Gotham from within. With this storyline, we can watch Batman and Gordon grow together as the veteran characters they are today. Gordon cares for Bruce as a child. In the storyline where Jim comforts a young Bruce Wayne, Jim gives Bruce a sense of hope that not everyone was evil. In most stories, Bruce doesn't have many friends as a child. In Hush, he has Tommy Elliot. In Nolan's universe, he has Rachel Dawes. But in most storylines, Bruce has few friends growing up, quite possibly because of his family's wealth and the jealousy that it bred in others, especially when poverty was common in Gotham. Bruce is an only child, with rare exceptions, for example, Court of Owls. So Bruce is incredibly lonely when his parents are murdered. All he has is Alfred. Few others could have given Bruce a sense of hope on his darkest night. Imagine you grow up with few friends, no siblings, no other family other than your parents, and then they're killed in front of you when you're only 8 or 10 years old. The world would look scary and evil, terrifying. You wouldn't know how to grow up or function in a world that could do something so heartless. Now imagine that because you're rich and you have a butler, few people take your pain seriously. The world would feel even worse. But one person gives you compassion. That person would make a lot of difference in how you perceive the world. Gordon was that person to Bruce. Yes, Alfred took excellent care of him, but Bruce needed someone he didn't know, someone outside of the mansion, someone out in the world, to show Bruce that not everyone was heartless. Gordon showed Bruce as a child that no matter how corrupt society becomes, one person can make a difference. Gordon and his compassion toward Bruce is likely a large part of what inspired Bruce to become Batman, and why he shows compassion himself so often. And this is alluded to in the end of Dark Knight Rises, when Batman reveals his identity to Gordon by reminding him of the night he'd put his coat around him as a child to remind him that the world hadn't ended. Our opinions. My husband prefers the storyline where Batman and Gordon debut in Gotham at the same time, but I prefer the storyline where Gordon comforts a young Bruce. because it shows how much difference one person can make, especially in the life of a child. It reminds us to show compassion and empathy toward others, even if they have what you think is an quote-unquote easy life. Everyone feels pain, and anyone can be a hero. It's more relatable and compelling to the audience. I especially loved how the Arkham Asylum video game brought Bruce's grief to life in the scene where Batman is gassed with Scarecrow's fear toxin, I think the second time, and he's walking down the hall as young Bruce. You can see the pain and loneliness and loss of purpose in how little Bruce moves. You can overhear a cop saying awful things about how Bruce will be just fine because he has lots of money and a butler. But you hear one man fighting for compassion and justice, Jim Gordon. Gordon gave little Bruce a sense of hope when few others could. So what do you all think? What's your preference and why? Are there other stories that contribute to this conversation? Let me know down below. I've missed you all. I'm not sure how often new videos will happen. I'm still working on my other channel where I recently started making cartoons about stories and books. I'll leave a link to it in the description box. And I also have commitments outside of YouTube. But when I have something high quality to offer to my Bat fam or my other favorite fandoms, I will post it here. I really do love our talks. I hope all of you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.